Hey, what's going on, guys? The Lang Banger here. So I have a product opening for you. I ended up getting a play booster box of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Magic the Gathering. So yeah, let's just get started. So I did pull the wrap off, just a chance. Okay. All right, so that's cool. So I guess the first show off, kind of going over some draft mechanics or information there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, just to go into why I bought this product. So I would say, so I was born in '88. I think Magic came out in '93. So probably using that logic, this had to have been the first card game that I've ever seen. So Pokemon came out 99, 2000, somewhere right around there. So let's see if there's any easy way to open this. I don't think so. So gonna have to go old school here. So yeah, I definitely remember seeing Magic the Gathering cards when I was young. I don't know what all I'm gonna go over here. Probably just the rares. Okay. All right, so there we go. That's a rare. That's a rare. And then a foil. Okay. So, for how young I was and when Magic was out first, like I definitely wouldn't have had an interest in that just because I was a little kid. But I definitely remembered seeing the items. I want to say like I might have bought like 5th edition or something like that when I was younger. And that was kind of just buying to buy. So let me see. Weathermaker. Got a foil uncommon. All right, so let me get myself set here. So yeah, but anyway, so I mean, I've been playing card games for a couple decades now, and what I really like about Magic the Gathering is just the ability to play Commander. So you go out, you pay $50, let's say on average, for a Commander deck. Just go and play with friends and, just have a good time. So that's pretty cool. And then on top of that, with me being born in '88, it was quite a big deal that, Ninja Turtles. So with the original movies, the original show, I mean, just everything Turtles is just cool to me, especially the young stuff. So that was kind of just a good mix to where it's like, okay, card games, I grew up on Turtles, okay, I'm in. So I do realize, there isn't a lot of money in this set. That's completely fine. I was patient. I don't know how much play boosters were at its peak, but I spent $105 on this on TCG Player, so I don't feel like I was robbed. That would be cool to get some good pulls. Turtle Power, that's a rare. There are some mythics that are money. I think one of the Crags, which is a mythic, Super Shredder. So those are like $20-$30. So I could end up pulling something pretty cool. So I did go to the Turtles pre-release. Turncoat Kanoichi for rare. So I did do the pre-release. From there, I'm trying to think how many cards were in the pre-release pack. I think it was like 5 or 6, and then you just build a deck with your pulls. That was pretty fun. I went 2-1 there, so that's pretty cool. I don't play Magic a whole lot, but I get the overall grasp of it. Dawn and Leo, Problem Solvers. So that was cool. And then after the tournament, I was able to purchase a commander deck. So I did end up doing that. And now at this point, you know, I saw the price of this box. I don't know how these cards are doing in standard. I mean, I don't play standard, but at the very least, I'm like, okay, so I can upgrade my commander deck, maybe build a second one. So that was kind of my thought process there. All right, I got a farm. That's cool. Can't remember if I showed you before, but it's really cool, these arts that they're doing. So that also is cool. So a plan of mine is I have the commander deck sleeved, built. I meant to say, a little tired. I would love to split that commander deck up into two and have a turtles and then have other. So we'll see how well I do with that. All right, got a double rare, ground chuck and dirtbag, splinter, radical rat. Okay. So that's kind of my goals. Yeah, also too, the original animated show, I think, might have came out when I was born, maybe a little bit before. So I will be honest, I'm not completely up to date on, you know, all the characters. I mostly remember, oh, there we go. There's a rare. Raph and Mikey Troublemakers, and then got a foil rare. I think that's just a rare. Triceraton Commander. So I'm certainly familiar with the characters in the movies, but then in regards to the show, I do want to go back. I also forgot to mention, I do play all of the video games as well. So there was a collection that came out a little while ago. I played all those. I beat those. There was a Shredder Revenge. I forget what other titles there were. Okay, so go to rare. And hopefully I'm in focus here. So, cloning of Shredder. Cool. So, yeah, everything turtles. I mean, can't go wrong. Yeah, and my other thought, I mean, just with Commander, I mean, I don't envision them, like, hitting any cards in this deck. Not to say there aren't good cards, but just down the road, this is just something I can always just use. So why not? There's a rare. Dawn and Leo Problem Solvers, so that's cool. I don't know how much of the cards are, like, in that alternate art, but that would be cool to have a whole deck with that as well. So I have been watching YouTube videos as well, and there's a lot of guides out there, so if you guys are interested, there's plenty of material, but they will mention a lot of cards that you can upgrade the deck with, and that would be outside of the turtles. I would like to stay within the theme. Mikey and Leo, Chaos and Order, and then a Ronin's Arsenal. So yeah, I mean, that's so cool. So I'm not even sure the rarity on that. Oh, that's a Majestic. Cool. Yeah, so I may end up missing even some of the stuff that I'm pulling. So, yeah, so Magic the Gathering, I mean, they really hit it out of the park with Commander. I think anyone could agree with that. So got Leonardo Cutting Edge, Improvised Arsenal. I mean, even the lands, I mean, come on. That's so cool. And there's also ones that look like pizza slices as well. I'm not sure if that's just in the pizza bundle. But yeah, they knocked it out of the park with the Commander concept. So whether or not they are making too much product, I mean, you can certainly debate that. Ravenous Robots. So that's kind of like, for me, I think I have like 4 or 5 Commander decks. I don't go and max them out because when you're talking about Commander, you could end up dropping thousands to to bling out or max out a deck, and I mean, I'm just not about that life. So, all right, got a double rare, Party Dude, and Chrome Dome. So, but I just think this overall concept, I mean, I swear there's a new product every month, but just the thought of Commander, hey, you don't have to buy new stuff per se. Just buy a deck you like. Maybe you could just slowly upgrade it over time. Nothing wrong with that, but you don't have to buy every product. Like, look at that. That's amazing. So, and look at that. Karai's technique. So, yeah, so that's just a very good concept. So, I mean, I guess they're doing well. The fact that they're dropping like a new product every month. A lot of people would say that's too much to keep up on. I agree. But I would also say, like, just look at the game, evaluate what are you trying to get out of it. Are you a really competitive player? Renette, Temporal Apprentice. I mean, for me, I'm never going to top tournaments. I mean, I don't play this actively as my main game. I mean, I play 4 or 5 card games, but it's kind of a matter of, can I go out at night and just play a card game, have a good time, have some nostalgia, like with these cards? Like, hey, that's cool. Not all of my decks are nostalgia. So I do have a Lord of the Rings. I have the Elf deck. I think it's blue-green. I have that. I have Final Fantasy. I got the Titus because I grew up playing that game. So, Dawn and Wrath, Hard Science. So, yeah, that's where they get me, is the nostalgia. Not to say all these other sets aren't cool, but if you're gonna drop nostalgia, then yeah, you're probably gonna hook me one way or another. It's just, it has to be something that applies to me or something that I grew up on, but they definitely know what they're doing. All right, so I think that's a mythic, Northwind Avatar. All right, and after this, 10 more packs. Trying to go quick, try not to ramble, but it's kind of hard when I'm only one in the video. I just don't want to be silent either. But, all right, got a rare. That's Raph and Leo, sibling rivals. I would love to get a Super Shredder just because I don't have one. A Krang would feel good because, again, those are like 20, 30 bucks. And I would feel good about my purchase. I was just going to buy some of these single cards, but then I'm like, wouldn't my total just add up to, you know, close to 100 anyways? So why not have a little fun? I don't want to call it a gamble because I don't know if I can end up pulling my money back. So Leader's Talents. So yeah, but you will have to let me know if I missed anything. Have Shark Shredder, Killer Clone, and Southwind Avatar. So, yeah, and I guess also too another talking point. So I don't know if this is the first time, but at least with this this set, and you read the main Ninja Turtles, you could actually use 2. So that's pretty cool. Mutagen Man, Living Ooze. If I end up pulling one, I'll show it. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That is so cool. So that's pretty cool. So I've not seen the Commander deck play in person yet, but I would imagine you just have the 2 right next to each other, and you could just bring one out. And then the other one. So that's pretty cool. Michelangelo, Weirdness to 11, and a Turtles Forever. So I don't know, is that new? Is that unique to the set? But that's pretty cool. It is neat that, you know, you could just keep bringing your commanders back. So that'll be another thing. Cold but rude. And a foil Mutant Man Living Ooze. I think I said that right. All right, getting down to the last ones, guys. So, but yeah, one of the weird things about the Commander deck was had all the good guys and the bad guys combined. Maybe I'm weird in thinking that, but I would just think like, oh yeah, I just want to have the good guys fight the bad guys, not Casey Jen's Vigilante. So that was the first part, but then also too, the Commander deck is all 5 colors. I also may be weird on that because I just think consistency, and I think like, okay, I might want just 2 colors, maybe max at 3, but 5, I'm not sure. So, those machines. All right, guys, this is looking rough value-wise, I would say. I don't completely remember all the cards and their prices, so I might have got some hits. I might have missed showing some mythics. Rat King, Vermisher. Hey, got a foil land. That works. So, see if we get some luck here. But I think also too, this would be an indicator of, hey, why was this box so cheap? And, you know, the expected value or return may not be that great. Hey, there's a mythic. Turtles in Time. So, but yeah, just with any card game, any product you buy, you just got to sit down and say, what do you want out of this? And then say, is that worth, you know, your money and your effort? And how much money do you want to put into stuff? And, you know, all that stuff. So, all right. Michelangelo's Technique. So, that was my opening of the Play Boosters. I'll just do a little recap here. I will put the mythics in first, or in front. And if I miss something, I'm sorry. There's a mythic. That's a mythic. That's a mythic. That's a foil mythic. Cool. Alright, so maybe it had a little bit more value than I was thinking. Alright, so here were all the rares. And then for the mythics, I ended up with 5. And 1 was foil. So I don't think that's too bad. I mean, it's my first box opening. So I don't know what the pull rates are or anything like that. But I am content. I do want to rebuild my Commander deck that I bought. And once I do that, I will post that on here. And hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And if you are local in the Pittsburgh area, hit me up. And if you want to do a Friday Night Magic a night. Thank you guys for watching and have a good day. Peace.